Eliphaz continues. Kurana hayesh avonecha ve'elmi mikochim tifna. Call now, will anyone answer you? To whom among the holy beings will you turn? Right? You want to call out, you're complaining about the day you were born, you want things to go back to Choshech. Kile avil yaharag ka'as ufotet tamit kinah. Vexation kills the fool, passion slays the simpleton. And reading that verse after we read Mishlei, right, we hear the word Evil, which was over and over again. There was the Chacham, and on the other hand, we had the Ksil and the Evil, right? You're a fool, he's saying to Iyov. You're being a simpleton. Ani ra'iti Evil mashrish. Ve'akov naveu pitom. I myself saw a fool who had struck roots. Impulsively, I cursed his home, right? He was a fool. He struck roots, but it wasn't going to last. Yirchaku vanav miyesha. His children will be far from success, They will be oppressed in the gate with none to save them. Because he's a fool. Those roots are not strong roots. He doesn't have the chokhmah, he doesn't have the wisdom, he doesn't have the understanding of the world. Asher ktsiro, we're in verse 5. Ro'ev yochal v'el mitzinim yikachehu v'sha'af tzamim chelam. The hungry will devour his harvest, carrying it off in baskets. The thirsty will swallow their wealth, right? They have seemingly things are good for them now, but things aren't going to remain that way for them, right? They're just, this is for right now. They have these things, but ultimately, these are people who are fools, and maybe they were fraudulent. It's not clear. Rashi understands that maybe they were fraudulent in some way, and that's why their money is being taken away. But he's saying people who came into certain success in life and don't deserve it, it's going to be removed away from them. Is there an implication here that that's what Eliphaz is saying to Iyov? Certainly seems that way. Things were great for you, but maybe the same way, right? It was carrying off his children. What happened to Iyov's children were all killed. So maybe you were a fool. Maybe you were deluded. Maybe you weren't so righteous. Let's continue in verse 6. Evil does not grow out of the soil, nor does mischief spring from the ground. Ki adam la'amal yulad. For man is born to do mischief, just as sparks fly upward. Right? You did. If these things happen, right? You must have done something wrong. Mischief didn't just come from the ground; it came from you. You must have done something wrong, and that's why these things happen. And it's interesting to think about. I talked earlier in chapter 3 about Iyov wanting to go back to Choshech, to a time before there was sort of the world. He's only talking about his life, but right, we think of Choshech and we think of the creation story. And here, this Ki Adam La'amal Yulad is taking us back to Adam who sins, and then he's going to have to work by the sweat of his brow, right? So here it's saying that man is born to cause problems, and of course we have there also before the Mabul story, where God says that the man is evil from his youth, and so it's coming from you, Iyov. This is where it's coming from. These are why these things have happened. Continuing verse 8, Ulam ani ad rosh el v'Elohim asim divrati. But I would resort to God. I would lay my case before God. Oseg dolot v'ein cheker niflaot v'ad ein mispar. Right? You have issues? Just go to God. Why go to God? God performs great deeds. God cannot be fathomed. Wondrous things without numbers. That verse about God had otained matar al pnei aretz v'sholech mayim al pnei chutzot. He gives rain to the earth and sends water over the fields. Lasum shfalim b'lamarom v'kodrim sagvu yasha. Who raises the low high, so that those who are rejected and dejected and suffering, they can secure victory. So you Iyov, you want to go find out from God why this happened. God thwarts the designs of the schemers, the crafty, the sly, right? The arumim, those who are sly, those who are naked. We think of that word, of course. And with that also, what did Iyov say? Back in the second chapter, he said, I was naked when I came into this world, and I'll leave naked. And then he said, Hashem natan, Hashem lakach, and it's back in the first chapter. So, right, God thwarts the designs of the crafties. He's saying it to Iyov, because those are the words of Iyov from this first chapter, so that their hands cannot gain success, right? Maybe you are this person who was arum, you're naked, but also you're a person who was crafty. You were a person who did things wrong. And that's why this is happening, and you will not have success as a result of that. Continue in verse 13. God traps the clever in their own plots. The plans of those who are crafty and sly, they go awry. They don't stand. They don't last forever. By day they encounter darkness, at noon they grope as in the night. Right? These people who are you can see, but they don't understand anything. What they've done is wrong, and thus it's like darkness for them. But God saves the needy from the sword of their mouth, from the clutches of the strong. So there's hope for those who are suffering, for those who are weak, and the mouth of wrongdoing is stopped. See how happy is the man who God reproves, who God rebukes. Do not reject the discipline of the Almighty. In that verse again, 17, impossible not to think of the book of Mishlei, which over and over again told us things like that. Listen to what we tried to say nicely, suggestions of your friends. Listen to Musar Avicha, the words of your parent, right? And so here as well, what Eliphaz is saying here is he's it seemed, Iyov, that you were good, that you helped out the poor, that you were a nice guy, but now the suffering's upon you, and you believe that you didn't do anything wrong. God doesn't get things wrong, and God helps those who are wretched. God helps those who are poor. God helps those who are suffering. And things were great for you. So you must have not helped those people. You must not have been doing God's work in a similar way. Let's continue in verse 18. Kihu yachiv veyechbash yimchatz v'yadav tirpena. God injures, but he binds up those who are injured. He wounds, but his hands heal. So turn to God, Iyov, because you've got boils or lesions or whatever it is from head to toe, and turn to God to help you. B'sheish tzarot yitzilecha, uvesheva lo yiga b'chara. He will deliver you from 6 troubles, and 7, no harm will reach you. Talk about the word 7 different places in the Tanakh. Sheva, Shvuah, and oath. It's related to that. So, right, you've done 6. We talked about back also in the book of Mishlei, where we had the Sheva Yipol Tzaddik V'kam, that 6 times, right? That the Tzaddik can fall 7 times, but rises back up because he remains the Tzaddik. And here too, Iyov is being told, right? You turn to God. God will not harm you. In famine, he will redeem you from death, right? He'll give you food. In war, he'll protect you from the sword. You will be sheltered from the scourging tongue. You will have no fear when violence comes. You will laugh at violence. You will laugh at starvation and have no fear of wild beasts. For you will have a pact with the rocks of the field, and the beasts of the field will be your allies. You will know that all is well. You have shalom in your tent. When you visit your wife, you won't fail. You will see that your offspring are many, your descendants are like the grass of the earth. Tavo v'chelach. We just have 2 more verses, and we'll make some comments. Tavo v'chelach li kaver ka'alot gadish bi'ito. You will come to the grave in ripe old age, as shocks of grain are taken away in their seasons. Hine zot chakarnuha kenhi shema ena v'ata dalach. See, we have looked into this. This is the way it is. And look at these last words. Shema ena again. Listen to it. Hear it. And know it. Accept that this is the truth, what I have said to you. So here we have, these are very, very harsh words from Eliphaz. He's talking about your descendants will be many. They'll be like the grass of the earth. Things will be good in your tents. You'll have no fear of wild beasts. And here is a person who has done nothing wrong. And what's happened to him? All the destruction. His kids have all died. His houses are all gone. He has no health anymore. What are you talking about? Look at what he's saying to Iyov. It's very, very harsh. And he's telling Iyov, turn to God and things will be fine. Things will be good. And Iyov must be thinking, all I've done in my life is turn to God. All I've done is been a good person. What are you talking about? How could you accuse me of these things? How could you say that everything will be fine if I just turn to God? It'll save me from famine. It'll save me from war. It'll save me from hunger. And I will have shalom ba'o'alecha, and you'll have peace in your tent. But it's clearly is not the case. I don't have shalom ba'o'ali. I don't have peace in my tent. I don't have a tent. I won't go to the grave in ripe old age. That's not going to happen to me. There's no ripe old age for me. And so here we have Eliphaz, and right, a very good friend when his mouth was shut. But once he opens his mouth, the Teimani, once he opens his mouth and offers Iyov some suggestions, they don't seem to be very good. And they are very, very harsh words to a person who's been a wonderful person in his life, an innocent person, and certainly does not deserve these horrors.